Hey YouTube, it's Langsta here, and this week we're going to be making the Veggie Medley stew. Before we begin, if you want, you can add me on Twitter at langstaL, and now I've also started a Patreon account where you can donate money towards ingredients and also new equipment for future videos. Please do not donate if you don't have the money to do so, but if you do have the spare change and really do love my videos, it would be a great help for me. Now onto the ingredients this week. As you can see, there are no meat ingredients, however this is something I really do need and it's going to be delicious still, so for all of you vegetarians and vegetable lovers, please enjoy. First up, grab the 2 cloves of garlic, crush them, unpeel them, and then dice them into small pieces. Next up, peel and slice the shallots very finely. These aren't allure shallots, by the way, just normal shallots. Next, grab the celery, chop off the ends so that you don't get the old dirty parts, and then finally chop them as well. Peel the carrot and chop off any unwanted parts which are inedible. Then split it in half very carefully because they are very hard to split, and then very roughly cut them into triangular, rectangular, whichever shape you want. Next, roughly peel your potato. Doesn't matter if you leave any skin on because the skin is edible technically. Cut off one big piece for that big piece in the picture, and then slice the rest of it into smaller pieces which we will then be mashing into the soup to thicken the soup. Or stew. Or broth. You know what I mean. Next, finely chop the leek into small slices, which we will then be adding to the stew to make it have that extra boost of flavour. And now we're ready to start cooking. Heat up a saucepan at 6 out of 9 on an electric hob, or a medium-high on a gas hob. Add in the 2 tablespoons of butter, allow it to melt completely, and when it's starting to smoke, add in the shallots and stir it in. Remember to keep stirring, otherwise it will burn. Then add in the garlic and stir even more. Continue to cook for about 5 minutes and you will smell the deliciousness of it all. After that, add in the celery and stir that in. Also add in the carrots and allow this to cook for about 3 to 5 more minutes. Remember to keep stirring because there's not very much moisture in the pan. Next, graciously throw in the laden potatoes and stir it in. Cook this for about 4 minutes as well. Next, add in much needed water to cover all of it, stir it quickly, and also add in the vegetable stock. Stir it all together, and then add in the leek. Next, cover it with a lid and allow it to simmer for about 10 minutes on a low heat. Once those 10 minutes are done, use a spoon and gently crush all of the smaller pieces of potato against the side of the saucepan. This will add starch to the stew soup water-based solution and it will make it thicken. This will be delicious. Then add in the fungoir, the mushrooms. Stir it in to cover with the sauce and then throw in the parsley as well. Turn the heat up a tiny bit. For me it was 4 out of 9 on an electric hob or a medium heat on a gas hob, and then allow that to cook for about 5 minutes while stirring continuously. And try not to get the parsley all tangled up like I did. Next, season the stew with the salt and the pepper, and stir that in. Next, take it off the heat, allow it to cool a tiny bit, then using a large spoon, add some of the stew or soup or water-based solution into the goat's milk, just to temper the milk so that it's at around the same temperature as the stew, and then pour it in. This means it won't curdle. It shouldn't curdle anyway, but just in case. YouTube, it's Langsta here, and today we're going to be eating the veggie medley stew. So it's a completely vegetarian dish, there's no meat at all in here, and I am feeling the pain. So as you saw in the video when I was cooking the potatoes, the smaller pieces I mashed in the pot. That was to thicken the sauce and give it that nice starchy taste. Don't the carrots look really gorgeous? Bright orange. So let's give it a go. First I'm going to try out these carrots. Oh, those carrots are really sweet and fresh tasting. And the nice slightly buttery, milky kind of flavor from the soup. Oh wow, that is actually really nice. Oh, I love the addition of the parsley. So the flavors of the parsley and the leek and the pepper are all really nice additions. Oh wow. Yeah. That is nice. Each time you have a bit of the parsley, it's like a burst of the parsley flavor, and it really does cut through the richness of the broth. So for the mushrooms, I chose the shimeji mushrooms. They look the most like the one in the game, and these are Asian, I think. Here's a fun fact. I used to hate mushrooms when I was a kid, but now I actually really don't mind them. And this one is really nice. It's got a nice, unique flavor to it. It's not the same kind of flavor you'd find in a button mushroom or anything. It's very unique, and it's not chewy, but it's got a bounce to it. Oh, those mushrooms are amazing. So this really is a medley. There's a whole bunch of flavors going on, and none of them are clashing actually, which is good. Now let's try out this massive piece of potato. Oh, it's so soft. There's just something so comforting about potatoes in a stew. That was delicious. Now, I think the only flaw with this dish which I can find is the parsley. It's really hard to get a spoonful. How am I meant to eat this? No, they're everywhere. They're like weeds, really tasty weeds. Okay, right, that's a good one. Oh man. These mushrooms are amazing. Seriously, if you haven't had the shimeji mushrooms before, please do try them, because wow. Oh dear Lord. That's like parsley overload. I'm really liking the addition of the parsley now. The flavor is really nice. Ooh. So far, I've got to say, my favorites are in joint first place, the mushrooms and the potato in here. That is so nice. So you're probably wondering why I haven't mentioned anything about the goat's milk here. That's because really, there's not that much difference. It's not a super strong tasting goat's milk. You don't get that really strong, intense flavor you get with lamb or goat's meat, for example. It's actually quite palatable. So the reason I chose the standard baking potato is because it doesn't crumble and disappear in the soup, unless you want it to, in which case it does. But with this one, as you can see, it's retained the shape really well, but it's still soft and buttery. Whoa. Whoa. Look at the size of this one. So I'm actually really liking the sweetness of these carrots. Which is funny actually, because I don't normally like sweet things, but when it comes to vegetables, a natural sweetness is really nice. Give me some more of that parsley. I love this parsley. The addition of the celery gives it a really nice clean flavour. So even though we had quite a bit of butter in here and all that goat's milk, it isn't a rich dish. Bread would be really nice with this. I do love that potato. So overall, this is a very clean, hearty dish. But at the same time, it's not to the point where it's so rich you feel stuffed. I'm still really hungry. So I'll probably have another meal later. But this is actually a really nice starter. I didn't quite mention it earlier, but that really faint undertone of the fried garlic, that is amazing. It's not strong, so it doesn't overpower the dish, but it is there in the background on your tongue, and it's amazing. So I'm on to the final bite now. Here we go. Wow, that was truly something. That really opened my eyes actually a bit more about vegetarian dishes. Before, every time there was an option for either a vegetarian dish or a meat dish, I always chose the meat dish. However, this would make me think twice next time actually. The flavour, it's so fresh, it's so clean. It gives a really warm feeling, and it's probably because it was hot soup, but actually, yeah, okay, it was hot soup. And the pepper helped as well. Please do try that out if you're a vegetarian. For next week, I have had an overwhelming response for a certain dish. This dish featured really recently in Final Fantasy 15. It was in the festival, and it's going to be the Koopa Berry Cheesecake. So thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and share it to your friends and family. And please do try to cook these and try them and eat them and tell me how you find them, because I love them all so far. They're all amazing. There's not one which has made me go, "Ugh." This is the end of episode 13 of cooking Final Fantasy 15 for DEA. And I shall see you next week when I am going to be doing the Koopa Berry Cheesecake. Until then, bye bye.